open relationships. Now, this is a topic that I don't usually fucking even talk about because I think it's really stupid, right? I think the concept of having a open relationship is fucking autistic. I'm not gonna win to play with you. I have never been in an open relationship. Whoa. You hear those boos from the audience? Real knee fucking slapper. But now let me tell you why. I'm not in a fucking open relationship because what the fuck is an open relationship? You're not. Let's try and see this logically, right? Technically, an open relationship is you with your partner being open to sexual experiences with other people. You know what this sounds like? This just sounds like cope. This really just sounds like a coping mechanism disguised as a relationship, right? Because what you're necessarily telling the world, right, is, hey, I am really insecure and I am afraid not of intimacy because you very much are wanting intimacy if you are in an open relationship. That's why you are in a open relationship, right? But the kind of silly part that comes in is kind of to realize that it is not anything. It is just a sexual experience. What's the difference between an open relationship and a person that's just a fucking whore or a slut? You know, it's the same thing, just disguised as something proper. Because nowadays, a lot of people are in open relationships because people don't know how to fucking express themselves properly. You know, a lot of people are too ashamed of sex to actually sit down and talk about it with themselves, let alone their fucking partners. And I think it's really, 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 really fucking stupid because what you're actually doing is just setting yourself up for failure, right? Now, just because I'm saying this doesn't mean that there is not a use for open relationships. If you are someone that is trying to find what they want through experimentation, through openness, through what's that one other word? Through what's the word? Curiosity, I guess, right? So that's the only reason I see an open relationship working is because it's like, hey, I'm interested in something more, but I am still learning, right? In that concept, I actually think an open relationship is actually pretty good, right? But thinking that you are in a relationship because it is a open relationship, it's not a fucking relationship. Unless you're into being cucked. And let's just be honest. I don't think anybody's actually into being cucked. The whole cuck mindset is just a mindset of doubt, of envy, and of shamefulness, right? And I'm telling you this from experience, just from watching a lot of fucking pornography, right? I am not proud of it, but it is something that I have noticed over time, right? Like having dreams about wanting your girlfriend to do shit. It's like, hey, that's not actually you. That's a part of you that you've let grow subconsciously because of the things that you are doing that encourage that type of behavior. You know, if you sit all day watching fucking pornography, yeah, no shit, you're going to be more aroused by the thought of someone you like being fucked in front of you. That's just basic logic. Come on, nigga. Like, come on. So yeah, case in point, I honestly really think open relationships are fucking stupid. I don't like them at all. If a bitch runs up to me talking about some, I have a boyfriend, but it's okay because it's an open relationship, I will start hysterically fucking laughing in her face, and I will not let that person forget because it is such a fucking stupid decision to make. Again, this is just my opinion. You know, if you're in an open relationship, congratulations. You're playing yourself. Everybody loves to see a good joke from now. here on out, you know. So so very obviously, take everything I said with a grain of salt. You know, I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to like make you feel bad. I'm just here to tell you my opinion, and I think it's really fucking stupid. You know, for guys and girls, specifically for girls, because if a guy is telling you he wants to be in an open relationship, he just wants you for sex. Like, it's not a fucking relationship. It is an exchange. It is not a relationship. There is no love in that. And that's okay if you don't want love. But let's just be honest. Everybody wants love. Even the people that said they don't want love, they are seeking love in a way that comforts them, right? So again, there's a lot of layers to just overall why it is that we're even in a place in the world right now that an open relationship is a fucking thing. Because, and again, not to say that like, you know, oh, you should only have one boyfriend and one girlfriend, you know, like the sky's the limits, my nigga. You know, you could do whatever the fuck you want. Shit, I might have 3 girlfriends next year, nigga. I don't fucking know. But I will tell you this though, it'll be out of my own will, decisions, through the person that I am, right? Right. So if you are a person that is comfortable in an open relationship, then congratulations. If it's consensual between both parties and you two are having fucking fun, then and are growing and are cultivating a actual love through the experience, again, that's perfectly fine. You know, I'm just giving you the rundown of my own not experience per se, because again, I've never been in an open relationship, but just the just an outsider's view in, you know, with a bit of insight. So yeah, thank you for your time. If you like watch a lot of porn, be conscious of that shit, nigga, because I'm telling you right now, that shit fucks up your brain, but it's not permanent. You can turn it back. You know, it just takes a lot of time and discipline. Think about it, like if you've been like watching porn for 10 plus years, right? And you're all of a sudden trying to stop, there's going to be resistance there. But that resistance doesn't mean you should stop. That actually means you should continue forth, right? The law of non-resistance, you know? But letting it happen to you. You know, so you're going to have to go through like, you're going to have to first admit you're wrong, right? Admit that there's a problem, you know, and that hurts the ego. That hurts the ego a shit ton. So you're going to, you know, go through an existential crisis. You're going to feel like the world is against you, or you're going to think that nobody wants to fuck with you, you know, all type of shit. Then comes the, just what I would call awareness. You start to be more aware of why it is you're even doing the things you're doing. You start asking questions like, why am I watching pornography? Why am I actually doing this? Why is it the 5th time I do it today? Why do I feel so shitty after watching porn, even if my body is craving it? You know, then you go into planning, and planning is really subjective, because planning could literally be, if you have a certain amount of understanding in the universe, you will know that this problem that you have occurred because of your own actions. So therefore, only you can solve your problem. And because of that, it will lead to what I would call a branch into the infinite, right? That you get to walk through and experience what it is you need to experience to grow. A lot of those experiences might not be good. They might not be good. A lot of them aren't going to be good, but those are the consequences that we pay for our behavior in the past. You know, we all think, hey, this doing it once isn't going to do anything, and you're probably right. It's the consistent action that actually leads to long-term effects. So just, you know, with everything, again, just be very conscious, right? Be aware of what it is that you're doing and why, you know. And if you can't, just ask yourself why. Why am I doing this? Why is this something that I'm still doing even though I know I don't like it? And if you're in that point, I highly recommend this specific book, Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Very, very insightful book on how we form habits, you know, because we have a lot of habits sometimes in our just in our daily lives that we don't really notice until you start reading the book. You know, if you don't like reading this book, I'm pretty sure I've seen it on YouTube, like as an audiobook. Maybe it's not the whole thing, but it is summaries of all of the chapters, and that alone can be very insightful. So again, you got to realize that it's just a bad habit. You know, ultimately that's what it is, because it, you know, let's say you're someone that's like, okay, I figured out why it is that I watch porn, and I figured out what it is that I'm feeling, and I am growing towards better habits. This book will greatly benefit you. Now, I brought these two books because these two books are actually what connected me to the infinite. You know, a deeper understanding of how the universe works is this. A deeper understanding of how you work is this. So again, just to summarize, stupid, open relationships. Growth in its utilization, yes. Using it for numbing, for stalling, for denying or hiding or running, or what's the word? Being complacent? I don't fucking know. But yeah, again, just I wanna make something really clear though, because the concept of open relationships isn't a bad thing, right? It is just a concept. We give it its intention, right? So that's why you have to be very conscious of it, of what it is that you're actually doing within the relationship, right? Right. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Goodbye. Love everything and everyone, and tell your fucking mother you love her.